What's going on, nation, and welcome to the first episode of Insta-GAHHHBAGE.
I got a boner.
I bet the majority of you by now have a mini Boston accent because all of you guys type in the comment section, busted my balls saying barbells and garbage and all the fun stuff that I say with my accent. I think it's hilarious. I don't mind. Keep doing it. First of all, I want to say thank you to those of you who participated in trying to come up with a name for this series when I posted on the YouTube community page. But after reading pretty much all of the posts, granted, I'd say like 97% of you were up for me making this series. There were some of you that had some concerns and you were worried that I was taking a negative approach to fitness. And I want to make something very clear. If you guys go to the videos page of my YouTube channel and take a look at what I'm posting, the majority of my content is still teaching, fitness, workout vlogs, and that will never change, okay? But I did feel like something was missing in my channel, and another way of teaching is to call out other people on their shit, and it does two things instead of one. It teaches you guys what not to do and what to look for, and then hopefully teaches the person that's spewing absolute garbage to get your money and your views and waste your time. Hopefully, it'll get them to stop and maybe better themselves, right? Constructive criticism goes a long way. It's really helped me out in the past, too. I'm not going to say that I used to put out garbage content, but anytime I put something out that maybe you guys didn't agree with, or a new study came out that disproved it or changed the outcome, you guys would let me know. And then I would read the comment and say, I'll check it out. And then if it happened to be true, I would make adjustments. And I've become a better personal trainer because of it, because of my interactions with you guys. I don't want any of you going to any of the people's pages that I'm showing and starting to cyberbully them. That's not what this is going to be about. This is educating you guys on what to look for, what not to do. And hey, if some of these people hear that I'm calling them out on my video, maybe they'll see what I have to say and they'll be like, yeah, you know what? I guess I am being kind of a douche. I should probably better my content. So that's what I want to say here. These are my opinions. And guys, if you enjoy the series, make sure you tap that like button. And if you have anything you want to send me, because that's where I got this information from, you guys are DMing me things that you see on YouTube and you see on Instagram, send me a DM, Scott Herman Fitness on Instagram. And if you would like a shout out, let me know and I'll be more than happy to feature your post that you send me. For these ones, I'm not doing it just because I don't know if the people that sent me want to be put on blast like that. But next time I will, if you guys let me know. Let's jump right in. The first one, actually, I can put on blast because it was my wife that showed me this. So my wife, obviously, we met at the gym. She's super into fitness as well. And one thing that really irritates her, myself included, is that women trainers on YouTube, not all of them obviously, but a lot of them put out workout routines that are just pure bullshit. Like, it is what it is. They make the workouts super easy. They put together all these, like, floozy bodyweight exercises. And it's almost like they have the mentality of, like, oh, hold on. This workout's for women. Better lower the intensity. And I hate that. I have women clients that lift tons of weight and train harder than some of my male clients. The only thing that holds you back from training isn't your gender. It's your determination to do the work and get it done. And I feel like if you're going to put yourself on a platform where you are teaching fitness, you better teach it right and put the right morals and values out there in terms of what kind of content you're trying to provide. And what's getting me so fired up right now is this thumbnail right here. It says, do this every morning to lose flabby arms, slimmer arms in 7 days. First of all, you can't lose that kind of fat in 7 days. It ain't gonna happen. This isn't the Nutty Professor, okay? Like, for those of you who don't know who the Nutty Professor is, Ricky, do you know? You do?
I do.
All right, okay, so Ricky's off the hook. He's not gonna get smacked. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure Ricky will drop a clip.
Well then, feast your eyes on this.
That's a hell of a trick.
That's the only way you lose flabby arms in 7 days. Now, can you start your fitness journey and start to tighten up within a week? Yeah. Will you start to feel a difference in your body if you start exercising after a week? Yeah, you'll start to feel a difference. Are you going to see noticeable gains in the mirror? Probably not, but you will feel better. Now, anytime somebody goes from doing nothing to something, I think that is absolutely amazing, okay? And Grow with Joe seems to be doing that. She's putting out workouts. This video has 906,000 views, so clearly people are watching it. Maybe people who are afraid to work out are getting off the couch and moving their body. I think that is absolutely amazing. What I don't like, and you'll see very quickly, is she had this opportunity to get these people off the couch, and the workout she decided to give them was pure garbage and full of misinformation, okay? If you're going to put yourself out there as a trainer, you better make sure the workouts you're giving will get the job done. Let's click on it and take a look. And one more thing too, because she has an Instagram page as well, and we'll get to that in a second, but there's a difference between what you do on Instagram and YouTube, and what I mean by that is, it is a lot easier to trick people into watching your videos on YouTube because you can put together a flashy thumbnail like she did. You can put a stupid creative title that's full of, lies and misinformation like slimmer arms in 7 days, no equipment. And if a video like this gets 100,000 views and somebody's scrolling through their timeline and they see it, because it has that many views, they think they should watch it too. And you start this cascade effect of people watching a video that's gone viral because it has many views, and a lot of views equals good information, right? That's the point I'm trying to get to, and that's why this video has so many views. And on Instagram, it's a little different. On Instagram, you have to work a lot harder because you can't do catchy titles and misleading thumbnails all that much. It has to do more with your posting, your hashtagging, and collaborating, but we'll get into that. But this workout, if you guys look at all the exercises she does, it's like, to me, she really thinks that you can spot reduce fat. Like, the workout starts out with her doing like arm circles, and I thought she was warming up her shoulders, but no, she really thinks that doing arm circles is gonna work this area and reduce arm flab. Like, it doesn't work like that. You are misleading people. And as you continue to go through the exercises, they are all super basic, way too easy exercises that even if you have never exercised before in your life, I still wouldn't have my clients do this. If anything, I would pick 2 to 3 exercises that actually challenge you and have you do that, because we all know that if you want to lose body fat, you can't spot reduce it. It's your overall caloric burn. And working the same area for a certain amount of time only burns so many calories. You have to do a total body workout in order to lose body fat, and your body tells you where you lose that body fat first. Not doing arm circles to focus on just this area. I mean, she's doing things like she's doing this one exercise where she's like on her knees. I call it like praying, where she's moving her arms up and down. I mean, just walking, you're doing this with your arms. So if you're walking down the street, moving your arms like this, and that hasn't made that arm flab go away, doing it in a kneeling position probably isn't going to help either. But the worst part of this whole video, and the amount of views that it has, and the clickbaity thumbnail, aside from her showing a flabby arm workout and she's wearing not a tank top, if it was me, I would be wearing a tank top to show my arms aren't flabby from doing the workouts that I preach. That's just me. It promoted this video. Do this every morning to lose back fat and bra bulge. 351,000 views, following along the same exact structure as the other video that got 900,000 views. So because so many people fell victim to that video because they don't know better, it prompted her to make another video that's full of absolute trash training. And if you guys see the exercise selection, she's not even breaking a sweat doing it. I mean, you can do easy exercises and still break a sweat depending on how you do them, how fast you work, how many reps you do. And even if you've never trained before, you can still take easy exercises and make it challenging enough where you're out of breath and you're sweating. Like, that's the whole point of working out. Elevate your heart rate. I see 0 heart rate elevation in here. A lot of repeated exercises, like she's doing a twist side to side on the floor where she's rotating her knees. And then the very next exercise is the same movement, but then she's kicking her legs out. But why is she doing the twist side to side? Because she thinks you can spot reduce fat on your lower back. And even the thumbnail actually makes me more angry than the video itself, because the photo on the left, I think that's actually her, and she's grabbing her body fat on the side of her stomach. And then in the thumbnail to the right, her pants are pulled way up her butt, way up her waist, and it's photoshopped in. So, I don't know, just in my opinion, if you're going to make a thumbnail like that and put out a workout that reduces body fat there, I feel like you need to show up and you need to look a certain way if you're going to be portraying that. you guys were talking about my last workout video where I did an obliques training workout. And in the thumbnail, you guys are making fun of me because I photoshopped my abs out. I practice what I preach. I'm not going to tell you guys do this to get ripped and then not show you that I have abs and then I don't do it. If you're going to be a fitness instructor, you have to show up and put the work in. And if you go to another video she has, she's doing a 7-minute HIIT at-home workout. I watched the video and it was made very clear to me that I don't think she could do her own workout because the editing was done in such a creative way that she could rest as much as possible in between each exercise she's showing so that she can catch her breath and do it again. When I do, and I'll put my money where my mouth is, guys. For those of you who don't know me, when I do my follow-along workouts, you can go on my page and see every single one of them. They are follow-along from start to finish, one camera, so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing and see that I put myself through the same workout that I put you through. And it doesn't have to do with exercise selection, and you can't say things like, oh, well, Scott, your workouts are a bit hotter, so, not everyone can do your workouts. The way I structure my workouts is so that anybody can do them, and that's why they're timed instead of reps. Because if I say, we're going to do goblet squats for 30 seconds, if I do 20 and you do 4, after 30 seconds, we're still moving to that next exercise together, and we're staying together as a group. That's why timed workouts work so much better for follow along. So overall, I just don't think she's practicing what she's preaching, and she's taking advantage of you being gullible. And then if you go to her Instagram page, Instagram is very different. She has 470,000 followers here, and it's a lot easier to do bullshit your workouts here because you can film your exercises one at a time and then throw them up there. This was my problem when I talked about the organic twins. They had 34 working sets for a chest workout showing 8 different exercises. And I know for a fact they didn't do that workout that day. They just picked a lot of exercises that look cool and might get likes and threw it together and expected you to do it, the uneducated user who doesn't know that it's a bullshit chest workout. Same thing here, guys. It is all the same stuff. It's all fluff. Where is the actual education? And if you're not sure if someone's educated or not, you can ask them. But if you take a look at the content overall, you can start to see a pattern, and that's what I see here. All right, guys, the next person we're going to talk about is Cameron Chase. This is his Instagram right here, and this exercise was sent to me, and I was asked, what do I think of this? And it's called a plate press, but it's not the plate press where you press your hands together like this, and you flex and squeeze your chest as you extend your arms forward and back. This is an actual plate press where you're holding plates, rolling back, and then pressing them up and down. And I gotta say, I do not like this exercise. I think it is a very dangerous exercise that you are teaching people to do because Cameron is clearly in great shape. The dude is ripped, he's super strong, he's very muscular. He has everything he needs to be able to roll back, hold 3 45-pound plates, and these are metal plates too, which are gonna slide back and forth. He has the strength to roll back, hold those in place, and press them up and down. Now, the average person who sees this and might try it, maybe they're not going to do 3 plates because they can't handle it, but even if they stack 2 plates, all it's going to take is one slip of the wrist and they're going to smash themselves in the face. And this is kind of like reinventing the wheel. Why not just use dumbbells? Why not keep it safe? And I know why he did it. He did it because it looks really cool on Instagram. This is an Instagram account. And I would click on this and be like, what the hell is this guy doing with 3 plates on his lap, right? And that's why he did it. But Cameron, I looked at your account. You actually have a lot of really great content on your page. In fact, this was the only thing that I saw that I didn't like. So on these Insta-Gahhhbage series we do, it's not going to be all bashing and bad talking and bashing, guys. If I see something that I don't like but other stuff I do like, I'm going to let you know. And Cameron, you have a lot of really great content on here. I just think that you have to understand, you get 157,000 followers here following your workout advice. Exercises like this, I mean, dude, they're just maybe for you and your friends. Yeah, you want to try it, but if you're going to put it out on Instagram, you have to understand you got people going to the gym that don't even have a structured workout program yet, and they're like, especially with dudes, dudes will try anything to see chest growth other than progress with a program, right? They're going to switch out their exercises all the time. So I can just see some kid going to the gym, grabbing 3 plates, and then trying this, and then smashing his face in. And then they're going to say, Cameron Chase told me how to do it. Could become this whole big thing. I hope not. But overall, bro, I think your content is great. A lot of really great workout advice, but I think you should stay away from showing people the plate press. And last on the list is Brad Schoenfeld, PhD. I'm pretty sure I pronounced his name correctly, but I looked at Brad's entire profile. Dude has a PhD. He's super smart. He's very articulate. He has a lot of really great advice, but this one thing was sent to me, and I really rubbed me the wrong way. And after looking through the entire profile of Brad, it's made very clear that it's almost like the type of audience he's trying to target is your like flyby gym goers that go sometimes and quit, sometimes and quit, sometimes and quit. And it's almost like he's catering to that audience in such a way where he's babying them. I don't think you're ever going to become great if you get babied. That's why sports is such a huge problem right now. You shouldn't win a trophy. It's the same kind of trophy a first place winner gets if you come in second place. You get the second place trophy, which is smaller, to piss you off to get first place next time. Or at least that's how I think and how I was brought up. The majority of exercises he shows is all cables. Cables are great, but there's a lot more work that comes with barbells and dumbbells in terms of just being stronger overall. Cables kind of guide you. Granted, machines take all the instability out of an exercise. With cable, there's some instability because the cables can move up and down, left and right. But when you're using barbells or dumbbells, you have to work so much harder to perform the same movements, which make you stronger overall, especially in your joints, right? All those stabilizer muscles start to activate when you're dumbbell pressing because you have to prevent the dumbbells from going around everywhere like this. If you do a machine or a cable, for the most part, they're going in the direction you need them to go to. But anyways, this statement, there are no must-do exercises for building muscle. Many viable options exist. Choose those that suit your needs, abilities, and personal preferences. What makes me so mad about this is there clearly are a lot of must-do exercises that you should be doing if you want to see results. And it doesn't even have to do with exercise, like specific exercises. It's exercise selection based on your goal. This statement right here, this is the kind of statement that has an overweight person going to the gym and sitting down and doing dumbbell bicep curls with 10-pound weights because they feel comfortable doing that. Well, you're not going to lose the weight you need to lose by doing a seated isolation movement. You need to get your body moving. Even if you're sitting down and standing up 50 times in a row, you're going to burn more calories than doing a seated isolated dumbbell curl. And then another thing on the muscle building side, in the gym lately, there's been a lot of younger guys that have been going to the gym around the same time as me. And for the most part, when they're doing chest, that's when I've been stepping in and helping them. And I have like 10 different guys like in their early 20s now doing my only 2 series for chest to build a bigger chest because I would watch them come in and they would do a bench press, you know, and they'd use like okay weight, and then maybe they'd do an incline and do like 2 or 3 sets each. But then they would go to a cable machine and they would do high to low, middle, low to high, and they would be there for longer than they were on the bench press. And so I kind of step in, I'm like, listen guys, I know that when you do the cable machine, that pump in your chest feels real good, right? And it's so much easier to get a pump and a hardcore pump in your chest doing the cable machine than it is when you're bench pressing, especially when you're starting out as a beginner, because you have to really learn the mechanics of the exercise. But in terms of building muscle and seeing growth, yeah, you know what? The bench, dumbbell bench, incline bench, flat bench, barbell bench, that exercise is a must-do exercise, and you should be focusing on that exercise, and you should be giving the barbell bench more attention than doing a cable, because the cable is not going to help you overload to build the kind of chest that you want. So, yes, you know what, Brad? There are must-do exercises for building muscle. These are some examples. Obviously, there are a lot more if we're talking about legs. Yeah, you should be squatting, because if you're not squatting and you're just doing like a seated leg extension, seated leg curl, you're not doing things like a barbell hip thrust, you're doing isolation type movements, and as you guys know, we talk about this a lot, if every exercise you do for your hamstrings only involves doing a seated leg curl or a prone leg curl, you're working your hamstrings isometrically versus in tandem with your glutes, which is where all your power is going to come from when you squat and deadlift. Over time, that can become a problem because you're not gonna know how to properly fire your glute. Let's go. At the same time. We've talked about this before, so I understand what he's trying to say. And like I said, based on looking at his entire profile, he's a PhD, he's a super smart guy, but it's almost like he's babying his information because that's the kind of audience that he's trying to reach out and talk and touch and get into fitness and give him money for his advice. Hey man, I know you gotta run a business, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't make bold statements like this because now people are gonna go to the gym who maybe they're afraid to do certain exercises just because there's a lot of misinformation around them. And what you're actually doing is you're furthering that misinformation and saying, hey man, you don't have to go to the gym and do those exercises that you think are too difficult for you. You don't have to learn proper form. Just go sit down and do some bicep curls and you'll eventually see gains in like 100 years or so. All right, guys, so that wraps up the first episode of Insta-Gahhhbage. And if you enjoyed it and want to see more of it, let me know by going down below and tapping that like button. And guys, remember, I don't want you going to these pages and leaving like super negative bullying comments. That's not what I'm about. Constructive criticism is one thing. You can let someone know they're doing something wrong or you disagree without being a douchebag, okay? You guys leave me comments like that all the time, and usually I respond, and if you leave a douchey comment, I'm actually really quick-witted, and you guys thumb my comments up. I'm teaching Ricky my ways on how to deal with trolls. But, you know, at the end of the day, the only people getting hurt from content like this are you guys, all right? Not me. I'm educated. I know what I'm doing. But when I see content like this, getting a lot of views on social media, and then I read the comments from people who don't know better, it just builds up this fiery rage inside me because now I'm seeing comments from people who are getting taken advantage of, and I don't like it. My morals and values are such that if I see somebody who's in need, no matter what it is, I like to go help them. And I'm hoping that this series can start to help more of you and also try to help change the industry and get it back to where it was. Guys, YouTube fitness 10 years ago when I first started, I feel like was so much better. It was more about education, less about like bullshit exercises and BS routines and fancy clickbaity thumbnails to get your views. A lot of people I feel worked a lot harder back in the day, and for those of you who still are around and are OG fitness and are still doing great content, like, we need to band together and we need to get YouTube fitness and Instagram fitness back on track. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, more good stuff coming soon. If you guys want to check out other similar videos in this series, click the playlist link over here. And remember, if you want to send me some info, go to my Instagram, ScottHermanFitness, and shoot me a DM, and you might get featured in a future video. I'll see you next time.